All right, we're going to talk about something today that might feel, well, a little backwards at first. We're going to completely flip the script on emotional detachment. We're going to stop seeing it as a weakness and start seeing it as the secret key to building a rock-solid you and, believe it or not, way healthier and stronger relationships. Let's dive in. I know, I can almost hear you thinking, care less, isn't love about caring more? And for sure, that's what we're all taught, that the deeper the love, the more attached you should be. But what if that's not quite right? What if caring too much is actually the very thing that's sabotaging your connections? So let's start with a feeling I bet we've all had at some point. Let's talk about the over-attachment trap. This is that place where our desire for a certain person or a certain outcome gets so intense that our own behavior starts to push it further away. It's a painful cycle. So take a look at these. Do any of them hit a little too close to home? That feeling where you just have to send one more text, or when you find yourself explaining yourself over and over, seeking that validation. See, these aren't really signs of love. They're symptoms. They're symptoms of being way too attached to a specific result. And that anxious, kind of needy energy, it's like a repellent. It's the very thing that often makes people pull back. And this right here, this is the perfect way to think about it. When you're over-attached, you're operating from a place of lack, of scarcity. You're showing up with an empty cup, basically saying, please fill me up, make me feel happy, make me feel worthy. And that is a ton of pressure to put on someone. It tells them you want something from them instead of just wanting to share your awesome self with them. Okay, so this brings us to the big aha moment of this whole thing. We have to completely reframe, completely change our definition of emotional detachment. It is not about being cold. It's not about building a wall around your heart. It's about building a solid foundation underneath it. Let's get super clear on this because it's important. Healthy detachment is not being unavailable. It is not about stuffing your feelings down. Actually, it's the opposite. It's having the strength to feel everything, the good, the bad, the uncertain, without letting those feelings hijack your behavior. It's not some wall you put up to keep people out. No, it's an internal anchor that keeps you steady, no matter what the emotional weather is doing. And this quote, man, it just nails it. This is where real confidence comes from. You can love people, you can want things, but you don't let them own you. Your sense of who you are, your self-worth, it stays right there with you, no matter what somebody else does or doesn't do. So how do we actually get there? Right? It sounds good, but how do you do it? Well, you can't fake it. It has to come from a really deep internal shift. And it all starts with the power of surrender. This question is everything. You have to ask yourself this. Are you living for the outcome? That means your happiness depends on something happening in the future. I'll be happy when they commit. I'll be secure when I get that text back. But living through the experience, that means you're just here. You're present for the ride, whatever twists and turns it takes, without trying to jam it into some fantasy you have in your head. You just surrender and let it be what it is. There's this amazing old story that illustrates this so perfectly. So there's this Taoist farmer, and one day his horse runs away. All his neighbors rush over. Oh, this is terrible, such bad luck. And the farmer, he just shrugs and says, maybe. So the very next day, his horse comes back, and it brings a beautiful wild horse with it. Now the neighbors are all celebrating. You're so lucky, this is incredible. And the farmer, he just says, maybe. A little while later, his son tries to tame that new horse. He gets thrown off and breaks his leg. You know the drill. The neighbors are back. Oh, what a disaster. This is horrible luck. And the farmer's response? You guessed it, maybe. Then, the army comes to the village and they're drafting every able-bodied young man to go fight in a terrible war. But when they see the farmer's son with his broken leg, they pass him by. You see, the point is so profound. By not rushing to label things good or bad, the farmer protects his own inner peace. He just lets life unfold. And that, right there, is the heart of detachment. Okay, so let's bring this down to earth. How does this unbothered mindset actually work in the messy, real world of dating? Especially when you're faced with those, let's call them tests, that always seem to pop up. First off, what are these tests? Now, this isn't about someone playing some kind of evil, manipulative game. Not usually. Often, it's an unconscious thing. A partner might pull away or question you just to see how you'll react. They're trying to figure out, deep down, are you a secure person? Can you handle a little bit of turbulence without freaking out? Are you a safe harbor? So how you respond is everything. The attached person, they panic, they chase, they text more, they try to fix it, and that fails the test. But the detached, unbothered person, they just stay calm. You don't react, you just observe. You give them the space they seem to need, and this is the most important part, you get back to living your own awesome life. That non-reaction screams confidence. And this is exactly why it works so well. Your emotional steadiness is magnetic. Seriously, in a world where everyone is so reactive, being a calm grounding force is one of the most attractive things you can be. It makes your partner feel safe, they realize they can have their own emotional waves, and you're not going to get swept away with them. And this all leads us to the ultimate goal, the big payoff. The point isn't just to act unbothered, it's to genuinely be unbothered. And that comes from one thing: building a life that is so full, so rich, that a relationship is a wonderful addition, not a desperate necessity. I absolutely love this metaphor. A great relationship shouldn't be the whole cake. It's the sweet, amazing cherry on top of a cake that you've already baked yourself. A cake that is already delicious on its own. Yeah, if the cherry falls off, it's a bummer. But guess what? You still have the whole cake. And this is what that life looks like. You have to diversify your emotional portfolio, right? Your happiness comes from your purpose, your work, your health, your hobbies, your friends. Romance is a slice of the pie, a beautiful one, but it's just one slice. When your life is this balanced, no one person, no one situation has the power to break you. And when you do this, you completely flip that empty cup thing we talked about earlier. You're no longer showing up empty. Your cup is full. In fact, it's overflowing. And you're coming to a relationship ready to share all that joy, not to try and get some from somebody else. And trust me, that energy is absolutely irresistible. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. This whole journey of healthy detachment, it's not really about them. It's about you. It's about shifting your focus away from how do I get that person and toward how do I build a life that is so amazing, so fulfilling, that the right people are just naturally drawn into it. When you can answer that question, everything changes.